Okay, I want to show students what I do for a deposition. When I start a deposition, or even in court for that matter, but let's just assume it's a deposition, I want to swear the witness in, as you all know or should know. And so I'll have the witness raise her right hand and swear them in, and then I will hit on my steno machine. I like to hit wits, that's W-I-T-S. I hit it twice. And it brings in my little paragraph where I swore the witness in. And you can see that. Now you can see my steno over here is wits, and you saw it read the file in. Now since I'm in court, it actually is using my court format. But what I did was I told my software that computer, when you see me hit wits, I want you to read in a file called sworn court. And so that's what it does. And then at that point, as I am getting ready to do the questioning, if I'm looking out from the end of the table, I've hopefully got my witness on my right for the answer, and I have the questioning attorney that's going to do most of the questioning on my left. That is a reason why you want to get to the deposition early if possible, is so that you can maybe set the room up and be set up before people walk in, so that when the first person walks in, they might say, where would you like to witness? I find that happens quite a bit. It doesn't happen every time, but it happens a lot. And if they ask me where I want to witness, I want the witness on my right side as I'm looking down the table, so I can have the witness and the answer bank on the same side, and it just makes things a little bit easier. So I've got my sworn part set up here, and you can see I used wits. You can use sworn, or oath, or some other steno concoction that you want to put together, but it's always nice to have something you can do from your steno machine quickly, since most of the softwares have that capability, and set it up. Then at that point, in Texas, I do SNU, and then I do question. Then I can do what is your name, and I have that set up to come up here as by speaker 1, and then question what is your name. Now I've told the software that when I start a new examination, I want to have the setup come up this way. I want to have by speaker 1, and then I want to have the question stroke. And so that's what I do. So if you look here, I've got my wits, then I've got my SNU, and then my question stroke. And then I write, what is your name, in one stroke. Now he's going to answer, Harry Lee, question, where do you live? I live in San Antonio, Texas, etc., etc. And then he might say, did you kill my client? Some stupid question like that. And then, of course, we're going to have an objection. So then I'm going to hit my speaker identification for objection, which is I use I period. And then I object to the question. And I'm going to hit that. So I'm going to hit my I period, and then I object to the question. And by doing that, I've got that defined as colloquy. And I use I period. Now you might say, well, Breck, that's my capital I. Well, in my case, if I want to have the capital I come out, I use the asterisk with I period, because I use this stroke a whole lot more than I will ever use the letter I spelling a word out. And so it's no trouble for me to make that one little change in my alphabet to put the asterisk in for the capital I. because it works for me. And that's the whole important thing, is that whatever works for you, and you can make it come up quickly. Now, at this point, what do I do next? If the questioning attorney comes back and wants to say something, then I will hit my question bank only. Are you not going to answer the question? Now this time my software is set up that anytime there's colloquy and I hit just the question bank, which is right here, you see I wrote the objection. I object to the question, and you can see it follow along there. Then I come down here to the next line, and all I had to do was write the question stroke. Are you not going to answer the question? And I hit the question mark, and then the witness is going to say, no, I'm not. So I've got it set up here to where I've got my colloquy where I need it, and then I come back with a by speaker. This is a requirement in Texas. What you could possibly have also is you could possibly have something like this. I'll jump down here and do question, did you kill my client? And you can say, I object to the question. And then you could come back and you could possibly do something like snoo, and then are you not going to answer? Now some states and some people require it to be this way. And I wrote the snoo, and I wrote the question mark, and then I wrote what was said. Much the same way as up here, but in this case I had to do a little extra stroke there to make it come up that way. Now in Eclipse, if that's how you want it to be every single time, you can go into your settings and you can change some things around to where this will come up like this down here. By speaker 1 question instead of question paren by speaker 1. And I can show that on another video. But what I'm trying to show you here is how you do colloquy and the like. Now, he says, no, I'm not going to answer. So let's do another example here of another way you could possibly set up your colloquy. We're going to have a question. Did you kill my client? And the attorney is going to say, I object to the question. Don't answer the question. And then the witness might say to his attorney that says don't answer the question, okay. Then the witness may come back and say, I am not going to answer that question. And then I'm going to hit the stroke. Okay. So now here, this is where you will find a discussion all across the board as far as how someone sets up this example right here. Okay? Did you kill my client? That's of course a good question. That should be a question. And then the speaker, the witness's attorney, says, I object to the question. Don't answer the question. And then you can see here I wrote I answer bank. That's how I identify the witness in colloquy. I use the answer bank for the witness when he's answering questions, and I just throw the I in there with the answer bank to put the witness in colloquy. And I have that defined to make it be colloquy when it's I answer bank, as opposed to the one before, which is the I period, which is the attorney most of the time that I use for the witness. So then you can see I wrote I answer bank, okay, period. Then I come back with the answer. I am not going to answer that question. Then because my software is set up the way I want it to be set up, all I have to do is just hit the Q down here and then question OK. And it comes up correctly for me with the question and then by speaker 1. So some people will set their computer up to do it this way. Did you kill my client? I object to the question. Don't answer that question. Okay, I did not kill your client. Okay, thank you. Okay, I kind of did this a little wrong as far as witness answering, but you get the point here. Some schools of thought is, here's the question, did you kill my client? And here's the speaker, I object to the question, don't answer the question. And the witness says, okay. And then he said, I did not kill your client. It should have been, I should have wrote, I won't answer that question. But some schools of thought, some parts of the country, keep the answer right here that was responsive to this question. They keep it in colloquy because many feel that only the attorney that's asking the questions can bring the colloquy back out. So what you would have to do in that case is you could make it look something like this. Did you kill my client? I object. Don't answer that question. Okay. I can't answer that question. Okay, so here we go. Are you refusing to answer that question? Yes, I am refusing to answer that question. Okay, so here we have another example of how some schools of thought are. You have, did you kill my client up here? The objection by the attorney. Don't answer that question. The witness says okay to his attorney, and then he says to the questioning attorney, I can't answer that question. Many people feel that this is how it should be set up, and others feel differently. And then when the attorney comes back asking the question, then the witness is back in the answer format. Yes, I'm refusing to answer that question is referring to this. Others do it differently, and I think I've showed you the examples of the different variations on how speakers and colloquy and stuff like that can be set up. And I hope this kind of helps you students kind of see how colloquy takes place as far as stuff like this. And when I get to a part where, okay, I think I will not ask you any more questions, and the witness can say okay, and then you'll have colloquy, I pass the witness. Okay, so then if there was another attorney, maybe another person that wants to ask questions, maybe a second defense attorney or something, I would hit like cross, and then I have my cross-examination drop in there. And you can see here I've got the cross in there, and you can see over here is my cross. And we'll have like maybe a second attorney. I'll have it be the lower bank on the left side. My name is Joe Smith. Did you kill my client? I object to that question. Don't answer that question. I can't answer that question. Go say, now we've got the cross-examination with cross. We've got another speaker here using the lower bank, SKWRAO, and then question. And you see I set it up, SKWRAO, question, so that it comes up correctly. Now watch what happens here. I've changed speakers, I've changed examinations. So now when I hit okay, thank you, I can do it this way, where some people like to do the SKWR and then the question again. Or, since I've changed speakers here by using the SKWRAO and the question bank, I can make it look like this. I can do, did you kill my client? I object to that question. I object to that, whatever. Don't answer. I can't answer that question. Now, since I've got it set up and I've got that speaker 3 asking questions, I can hit the question bank. Okay, thank you. Now you see now I have speaker 3 asking the questions here because up here at the cross-examination I started with speaker 3 question bank. And I can go on and on here setting up new examinations and starting it with the speaker stroke and then the question bank, and my software will remember which speaker is asking questions until I do another speaker ID and a question bank. And now we've got okay, I passed the witness. Then we can have perhaps some redirect. So I hit RD, and that reads in a redirect file. Now back to my questions. And then I can go down, and if he's through asking questions, I pass the witness. Now I can, let's pass the witness, not the kits. Now I can do, perhaps I could do recross, and that would be RK. That's how I use recross. Thank you for answering my questions. Now you see I did it wrong there, so I'm going to back that out. See, I've got to do that speaker and then question bank. Thank you for answering my questions. And there it sets up correctly. Then I can do the next speaker 3 again that I just got through putting right up above there. I pass the witness. Now let's say maybe I have another speaker. Whatever it is, you just keep on doing that and keep throwing in the correct speaker ID with the question bank, and if you have your software set up correctly, chances are it will do this for you, and you're good to go. And my further other examinations are, we've got recross right here, so I've got I had direct, cross, redirect. Now we have recross here. Now I have further redirect. So I use FRD twice, left FR and right D. Hit that twice. Now I've got further redirect, and do like SNU question bank. I have more questions for you, and I can have I pass the witness. Now if there's more questions on the other person, I can have FRK twice for further recross. Hit that twice. Then I get the further recross examination to come up. I have more questions for you. I pass the witness. I could even have the court jump in there if they wanted to, which is my all banks left and right. You can see right here is the court. And if I have, we need to take a break. And so I can have the court speak. Now if the court jumped in there and said something, and I want to go back to questions, since I've got speaker 3 here as my most recent by speaker question, all I have to do is hit question. Let me just ask you real quickly. And it sets up here as by speaker 3. There's no need to go in here and if your software will do this for you, to have something like the court saying, we need to take a break, and then having to hit question bank, SKWRAO. I have just a few more questions. See, I did it right here on this one, and it came up correctly. But if you remember back up here, when we go back up, we have the court saying, we need to take a break. All I hit there was just a question bank. Let me just ask you real quickly. And you see it came up here correctly by just hitting the Q. So I let my software do some work for me and saved me an extra stroke in there. I have, I think, pretty much exhausted some of the colloquy and how my colloquy is set up and my speaker IDs in a very basic format. If you look on my group under my files section, I think you'll see I've got a real-time file on there that shows I have 70 or 80, 85 speakers in my dictionary. Some of the things that I use in my dictionary along with the I period is the left side of the keyboard. I'll use like I period is speaker 2, and if you watch right down here you'll see I have like SI period, TI period, KI period, RI period, WI period. It just goes on and on. Every letter on the left side with the right I period, you see here it throws up different speakers, and you can see right there I've got just a couple examples there of other ways to do speaker identifications. And these I periods work kind of nice for like Smith, Thompson, King, Roberts, Williams, Henry, whatever. That's kind of how I use those I periods with the left side of the banks to get some different identifications for people's last name. And you can do the same thing with your S and AO. You can do snoof, snooer, snool, snood, etc., to have like, Mr. Franklin, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Timmons, whatever your speaker names are. You can use your snoo with the right side of your answer bank and just put in some different speakers and pretty much cover that. So I hope that helps give you some ideas, and with that I will close.